morning, everybody. It's Osiris with 15 Minutes to Show. We always like to do it live for you, and it is very early here today in LA. I am up early because I have a very special guest this morning. His name is Berny Martin. He is the designer and founder and owner of Catou Fashion House. He started studying early on, but with his grandmother, who he named the fashion house after Catou, who taught him how to sew. He's Haitian born, studied at the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York, has designed and shown his wares at Munich, Dubai, Kuwait, everywhere, including starting the Midwest Fashion Week. And so you'll get to meet him on camera soon. We look forward to talking to you and seeing you when we get back, and talk to Berny Martin, designer Berny Martin, Catou Fashion House. See you in a bit. Bye. Hey everybody, you know I gotta talk about my acai water. Anyway, so if I've said it before, I will say it again. Acai water was founded by Adam Lazar. He's the CEO, head chief in charge. He and his lovely daughter were roaming the woods of Vermont, saw these farmers farming maple syrup from maple trees. How about that? Ran over and tapped them on the shoulder. Hey, what's up? I'm Adam Lazar. This is my lovely daughter. What are you doing here? This looks interesting. So he partnered with them, took the water that they extracted from the maple tree, which is only like what, 3% maple syrup. The rest of the tree is water. It's like 97% water, you guys. Hooked it up, put some little sparkle in it, and called it acai. And so, oh, no, I love the sizzle of sparkling water. It sounds like enticing, and it puts your mind in a whole nother frame, something fresh, clean, and clear. So when you drink acai, look at that. Refreshing, sparkling maple tree water. Acai. Let me say it again. Acai. Acai water, that's acai.com. It's acai water, but the website is acai.com. Go try some. You will love it. I'll see you in a minute. Bye. With our guest, designer, famed designer, I should say, Berny Martin. Talk to you in a minute. Bye-bye. Bonjour, Berny, ça va?
Bonjour, ça va et vous?
Ah, très bien, is that right?
Oui, très bien.
Okay. I don't really speak French, I speak more Spanish, but it just sounds so beautiful, you know, to speak French and you can get in that and get the character in there. How are you doing? Oh my gosh, we, people out there, we have the fabulous, the wonderful, amazing designer, Berny Martin. Don't move the camera, Berny. You got it? Don't move. We're fine. You're fine. I can see you perfectly. You're fine. You look great in the frame. The frame is perfect. Just leave it right there. Don't move. Yeah. So he is in Paris, everyone out there. So as I promised, Berny Martin, we have him in the studio. He's in Paris. So we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're rolling now. And hi, so what's going on out there? I've already talked you up before you got on camera. So again, you study at the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. And you also studied at Purdue, I believe, and then you started the Midwest Fashion Week.
Yes.
We talked about that. So tell everyone out there what it's like being the owner and founder of a fashion house, and just what a fashion house does. I don't think people understand what a fashion house is and what a house does in fashion. So Go.
Yeah. That is a very, I would like to call it a brilliant question, because a lot of time in America, sometimes they get confused between being a couturier or a seamstress and a fashion house, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So a seamstress or somebody that does making clothes is not really somewhat just a fashion house. In France, they separate them,
Oh, interesting.
you know? Yeah, a seamstress is not really mean it is a fashion house,
Mm.
you know? And the ability to sew doesn't mean that you are a fashion designer either, you know?
Yeah, I do.
So So, in other words, in here in France, being a seamstress is like saying, um, uh, I know how to make the clothes, but I don't have the possession to be a creative genius to create a new design. But you know the functionality of making the clothes.
So, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
Go
Huh?
ahead. No, go ahead. I said, and that's the difference in who you are and who other people may think they are.
Yeah, there's different stages here, you know. So for me, when you ask me that question, it takes me back to my early days in the United States when I'm trying to accomplish the establishment of a fashion house slash being a seamstress. You know, a lot of time people come to me, they're thinking they are approaching just a seamstress, and I'm like, no, I design, I create, I innovate and elevate somebody's look, personality, and also for we create basically a fashion house create hope in a society, in a community, in an environment, because we are the creative genius behind the formula that's called culture. You know,
Yeah.
if you think about it, let me give you an example. Hip hop, right? Streetwear, right? So we could say they were a creative genius the way those guys were dressing on the street. So that could be create considered a not a fashion not a, just a seamstress. That was not the job of a seamstress. That was the job of a fashion house to create the elements that created those garments, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to be part of the culture of hip hop. So that's what I am.
And that's who you are, and that's why we have you on our show. We love who you are. So,
Yeah, but I'm not just I work with seamstress.
you are the designer of Catou. So your fashion house was named after your grandmother. I read and studied about a little bit about your background, and you're Haitian. I'm Creole, so you know I know a little bit of patois from when I was a little girl, but I can't remember hardly anything. But
Yeah.
in line with what you were saying about how people may think they're a seamstress, or others may work as a seamstress but not necessarily be a designer. With lines like Yitty by Lizzo, hey Lizzo girl, I love your stuff. And Fabletics, you have Ivy Park, Beyonce, you have, and she has the House of Darion. And then you have companies like Style We that are working really hard to emulate high fashion at a lower cost. So in the world of fashion, how does that level it up with classic designs, fabrics, and really quality things? Or what does that do to classic designs that are very well made, and that's what people are used to, going and really getting what their money's paying for? How does that?
Yeah. So and go back again to what I was referring to earlier. In France, there are so many levels, right? So back again to what you're describing here is the difference between the elevation of operation, basically. So when you're talking about couture, right? So those clothes are made individually for a specific niche, okay? a specific clientele or that want a specific thing. And with that being said, what happened is there are certain techniques that have been applied that were discovered or manufactured or duplicated for hundreds of years. That is kind of like your secret mission of the fashion house that haven't created the embodiment to duplicate those things and apply them in a certain wardrobe, you know. But when you're talking about the lower cost now, some of those techniques, no way on this planet Earth you can duplicate that for a much affordable process because of the time that it takes to make those things. I'm gonna just giving you an example. There are some techniques that are made by hands that a machine, we're not there yet. Okay, maybe the technology. We're just not there yet. Technology-wise, it will require little hands, little needles to duplicate that, to do those things hand by hand and stitch by stitch. Versus when you come to more affordable fabric, more affordable wear, it has to be by a machine that can make those things in a matter of a couple of minutes or a couple of hours. So therefore, that's more like the mass production of a regular garment for a specific market.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that makes so much sense now. Now that everyone perceives themselves to be fashion experts, and every time you turn on the computer, it's gone from who people are to what they're wearing, from everything from, which strikes me as interesting because celebrities, like everybody else, wear what everyone else wears, except they are celebrities, and so there is an inclination for us to put more attention on them. Like, for instance, I think I saw something about Meghan Markle was wearing something with the sandals and something she wore in Montecito or Santa Barbara. And, you know, there's no, like, where is the business going on? So it is really all about fashion right now. It's like booming fashion. So what is the take you have, and how has it influenced markets like Paris and other markets like Munich and some of the other places you've been over time? And in the future, where do you see fashion headed?
Yeah, I mean, the world of electronic right now, which have taken the space of what us used to be accounting for, right? For example, during the COVID era, right? No one really were shopping at the store, right? Mm-hmm. The boutique were not open, or it was not the same experience, the touch and feel. Well, guess what happened? That's how the whole metaverse now have created a space and a time now. What can we do to make people have the same kind of ideology, mm-hmm. you know, to mesmerize as if they are in a store, in a space, and at the same time to have the same experience, you know? And that's literally where the fashion gaming is going right now, you know, because the whole ideology of just like buying clothes from a boutique standpoint or in a showroom is not just that anymore. Yes, those things will still be in existence, but now you're gonna have the whole electronic components of the fashion industry now, which is gonna be booming for me, is gonna be one of the fastest growing industry right now, because what's gonna be literally happening, they are gonna create the digital format of the clothes. It means that somebody can just download the clothes with specific details and be able to make that clothes at any given moment in the corner of the earth in an instant. Versus before, it was not the case at all.
Wow.
You know, before that, you have to go to the store, you have to go to the showroom, you have to go to the fashion house to obtain those things. So imagine, basically what I'm saying to you here, it's kind of like the Netflix
Netflix of the fashion world.
Yeah. So you remember back in the days, you have to go to the movies when the premiere come out.
Yeah.
That's the only time you were like, okay, I'm gonna watch the movie, right? You remember that?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. So now apply that same situation now in the fashion industry, right? You are no longer have to wait.
You don't.
For the store to put things out anymore.
Just get them online.
Yeah, the store can literally put everything on the metaverse or everything on their Web3 or anything on their website. As soon as the collection is done, everything have the same duplicate stuff, and it can be populated anywhere in a given moment. And on top of it, check this out, Osari.
What?
Those computers can automatically blockchain up with the manufacturers in those locations at any part of the world to duplicate those clothes like this.
Wow. See, technology, I tell you, it's a demon and it's a god at the same time. You know, it's like...
Exactly. It's
at a cutting edge.
Just like anything. You know, anything that men have created, and I'm not talking, and I don't want to sound like I'm preaching anybody here.
No, you sound fine.
Anything that we have created as men, there's always a good and a bad. All we have to do is find a way to find a fine balance, you know? But at the same time, I'm saying that, right? That same technology can also be played where we are solving the issues of mass production.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So let's just say the clothes are available on a digital format. And the digital format will basically able to duplicate those clothes, but also it can tell the people how much clothes that we need to duplicate. Mm-hmm. So let's just say we want to sell 1,000 shirts in China. I'm just giving an example here. Yes. 1,000 shirts in China, 1,000 shirts in New York. And so the metaverse can, the AI of it, the intelligent information around it, the artificial intelligence around it, can literally tell you, you only need to make 40,000 of those pieces only. You don't need to make 80,000. Because if you make 80,000 and then the market is only giving you 40,000, that means you have 40,000 that's going to sitting and being wasteful in a warehouse, which is not good for our planet because we're actually making more clothes than we need. And right now, as we speak, you have stores like Goodwill, Salvation Army, so many other places. They are filled with landfill of clothes that are made of nonsense. And part of that problem is because all of those manufacturers all over the world, they are just basically trying to sell clothes, but they don't know how much of it to produce.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Well, wow, that's truth, huh? That's truth. That's why I wanted to ask because
take it the long way.
Yeah, all of these things seem simple, and you know that's why it's interesting when everyone thinks they're a fashion expert and how a lot of people, some of us need to be told what to wear, how to wear, and things like that because everything doesn't fit everyone. And if you had to take an outside look, like if you had to step outside of your own body and look, is that how you want to look to yourself, kind of? You know, and that kind of thing, because in my opinion, and being a former model, I speak very assertively about, it is not just style and color. It is your personality. It's the va-va-voom you have inside. It's an energy. It's a spiritual force. And people that have it, they have it. And there's nothing you can do to take it away from them. It is inside. Absolutely. It is nothing you can duplicate. I will tell you, it is something that comes from within. You can spend all the money you want, have all the glare you want, but unless it comes within and from within and it can shine without, it does not work.
Well, let me tell you a secret. Let me tell you a secret, Osiris.
Yes.
Us designers, when we are designing, guess where we find our inspiration from?
Where?
The people.
Yes.
We go to parties, we go to social events, we find our muse. That's who inspired us to become fashion designers. And we duplicate that mentally and we add little things there and here and here to make it part of the natural being of the universe. That's what that is. You know, without what you're talking about, if we don't have it, there's no way for me to become a fashion designer. I am inspired by people that are all around me. I'm feeling their energy. I'm feeling the presence. I'm feeling the goddess in them that make me allow me to become who I am. Without them, there's no way I can design.
And it drives you, just like it drives artists when we feel inside. It drives photographers when they see an image and they go, you know, I just got to, like, to me, it's like food. It's something that's so relevant for your being that it doesn't go away. Even as you mature, it does not go away. It may refine, take another direction, whatever, but it will always be there. But listen, we are almost out of time, my darling. And I would love it. We got to talk more on the phone, dude. Huh?
I said, thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
I apologize to the crew. I apologize to you guys.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize. I'm just happy you're here. I was like, yes. I'm just so happy that you showed up. You know what I mean? So anyway, tell us where we can find more about Catou wear and your fashion house in Paris or wherever it is. Also, tell us about your social media handles, and then we're out of here. Okay, go.
Definitely. So the Catou brand, you can definitely find us on Instagram by going to Catou Wear, CATOUWEAR. Okay. And of course, our website, catouwear.com. And of course, for the production of all the events and parties that we put together, you know, to unify our beautiful earth with the beautiful culture that it has, it's the Midwest Fashion Week. It's the embodiment of uniting the world together on a simple platform of fashion. And that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You look fabulous. I love it. I could rock some of that. You know, especially the green, whatever you're wearing. What's the green thing? What are you wearing? Tell us what you're wearing before we
scarf. It's a scarf.
Oh my gosh, but it's multicolored or something.
Yeah.
Can you flip it over the other side?
It's made out of silk, and then I have a beautiful lapel pin here from Brazil. Okay. You know, so yeah.
Okay.
All right, we gotta go. It's been wonderful having you. Say
so
bye.
Much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Au revoir. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Bye-bye. This has been 15 Minutes to Show. We just had Berny Martin on, and don't forget to check us out at unkentertainment1.net. Also on my website, that is expressinabstract.net, and my YouTube channel, 15 Minutes to Show. See you later, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.